Hi, thank you. Thank you. I love it. If it wasn't for Vivian and all the people that work at Human Options, and of course all the people sitting out at the tables right now, I wouldn't be here today. And I really take all of it really personally. My name's Carrie Robinson, and I graduated from Second Step 15 years ago. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my history so you know what an impact Human Options made. I was born into a home of domestic violence and child abuse. I have 3 other siblings. 2 are serious drug addicts and alcoholics. And I had one 20-year-old brother that hung himself. And I grew up in a home where I was afraid, and I was angry, and I was lonely. And I really didn't understand. And when I got 19, I thought, well, I'm going to get married and make my own family, and then I can have, happiness and love. But that was a good plan, but unfortunately, I wasn't raised with any of the core values or coping skills. I didn't know, how to have an argument, or what was the limits with when someone argued with me. I grew up with my dad hitting my mom all the time. That wasn't a red flag for me. Why would it be? I learned that that's a normal way that husbands and wives interact, and you're just supposed to put up with it and try to do better, and maybe they won't do it next time. So I got married, and at first it started out really well, but when the stresses of life came upon us, he also was raised in a home with a lot of violence. We both kind of fell into the role where he was hitting and being mentally and emotionally abusive, and I was putting up with it. So at the age of 28, after 28 years of putting up with violence, I didn't know how to have a different life, but I really knew I wanted a different life. I wanted it more than anything. And I felt like at the bottom of a well, and I could see the light at the top. I just didn't know how to get there. And I had an 8-year-old and a 6-month-old, and I packed my bag, and I called my girlfriend, and I said, come get me. And that was November 2nd, 1994, and my life has changed ever since. Within a few days, I was in an emergency shelter. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't even know they existed. I opened up the yellow pages. I had no place to go, and I didn't think they were going to take me. I thought they were going to send me home. I didn't have missing teeth, and I didn't have a broken arm, and I didn't have a black eye. And that's who I thought shelters were for. And then I got there, and I realized that I was in the right place, that women were telling stories of exactly the same ones I had. And I was like, wow, were you married to Bob too? Because that sounds, like my story, that just doesn't seem possible. So I went into Second Step in December, and one of the first things that really impacted me was, when you don't have parents that care about you or love you, why in the world would you think a stranger would? You just don't. And one of the first things was, I showed up with nothing, clothes. And all these people, filled my house with furniture, and gave me clothes, and I had more Christmas gifts of household items than I'd ever seen in my whole life. And I realized then that people really did care, and that I felt hopeful for the first time in my life that I was really gonna do it, that I could do it with the help of other people, people like you. The second thing that really impacted me a lot was the support from Human Options. It wasn't just a place to stay, because I would have left the same. I got counseling and group therapy and a legal advocate so I could get a restraining order and, eventually a divorce, and help me work out custody rights. you know, all those things were very scary because you have to keep living in the real world, you know, and things don't happen really quickly and easily. You think they would when, you know, abuse is going on, but they really don't. And especially 15 years ago, even then some of the laws weren't always on our side. And so spending the time in Human Options and all the intense interaction really made the hugest impact on my life than anything else today. You go to school for 13 plus years, you go to church, you have all kinds of interactions in your life, but nothing has changed my life more than the 12 months that I have lived, at Human Options, nothing. You know, today I am free. I'm so free. Like, you know, Arden was talking about. I didn't get the childhood and I didn't have the joy. But you know what? Today I do. I'm free today. I know how to get it. I know how to serve. I can do anything I want to do. There's no limits. I don't care how old I am. I don't care what the limits are. Nothing happens easy or overnight, but if you want it to be different, you can make it different, and I believe it with all my heart. And again, I really take it personally, each one of you out there, each person has given of their time or their resources, because without you, my life wouldn't be different. I have 3 boys, their lives wouldn't be different, and indirectly you've affected generations before me as well. And I really have come full circle. You know, I'm happy, I'm in a happy relationship with someone that I really love, and I've never had someone love me, no one, as much. You know, and to really be able to give back and get it, you know, it feels really great. And all of it wouldn't have happened without all of you sitting in the seats today, and I really thank you.